why it's so easy for us to like resonate or like empathize with the heroes, because in like the TV shows and movies, like everything is from their perspective. So you're not really, it's only like recently that they're showing like all the collateral damage and stuff. And
Mhm.
like you could even say like in some movies, like for example in Spider-Man Homecoming or something like that. Like how come it's like the the blue collar worker is the one that's the villain?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Problematic.
I think in general, like what I think would happen realistically is like, I know I talk about the series The Boys a lot, but I think that's what would happen, because in that show it's like there are superheroes, and what's happening to them is like they're being commercialized by this
Oh.
company. So like I really think
Mhm.
that's what would happen. Is like the superhero doesn't really become, it doesn't become a hero anymore. It's more of like a product or a celebrity. Like they're not concerned about doing what's good anymore. It's more of like what would look good for our brand, something
That's
like that.
Mhm.
cool. It's a
Yeah.
good one.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Meaning of Life podcast. With me here today is Annika, Zoe, and Nala. With everything superheroes like being so big recently, like the past decade, more than a decade now. Um have you guys ever thought of like what if superheroes like suddenly became real? How do you think the world would react, or how do you think like everything would change? Would anything change? No, yes, maybe. What do you guys think?
Well, there's so much thoughts running through my brain right now. I don't know. I'm so nervous. But I think if a superhero just like they just happened today or something, not like
Mhm.
from before. Okay.
Well, Zoe,
You go, Annika. You go first.
I just thought that like if today, I feel like lots of people wouldn't believe that that
Yeah.
Yeah.
person is a hero. They're like if it was a video or a photo and then people are like, oh, that's a
That's
superhero.
edited.
Clout.
No one will believe it. I
Mm.
feel
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna
Yeah.
take a lot of time.
It's like if Jesus were real too. Like, no, you're not.
If
You
you-
did not just turn that into wine.
You're a
No, I was.
magician. No, she meant Jesus. She meant
Oh,
Jesus. If Jesus turned water into wine, people would
Oh,
be like,
okay.
"What the hell did you just do?"
yeah, I was like, now I
That's
look
a
scared
magic
there.
trick.
Did I say something
Sorry,
that
I was
would
embodying the Pharisee.
Catholics? Maybe me, I'd be a lot more gullible. I'd be like, this is it, guys, and I'd be like really excited, and I want to like meet the person, whoever they are. But and wait, I'll just start first with how I'd react. I'd be very excited because I have a lot of thoughts and theories on how people, whatever
Yeah.
else. I'll save it for later. But yeah, I'd be just very excited and try to think like maybe I can get my own. That's what I would do. Yeah. Zoe.
Just get a piece of the
Yeah,
pie.
yeah. Robobank.
I feel like, on the contrary, I'd be the probably the opposite of Nal, because I'm just such a skeptical person. And even though I very much love superheroes, if one happened to be here on this day and age, it'd be like, that is not real. You are lying to me to my face right now. But then, like, I don't know. I always just think about like it could start out to be a good thing,
Mm-hmm.
but like just like how Nala said, if there's a superhero, other people will try to copy it. So let's say like for every Spider-Man there's like some kid like Kick-Ass who's trying to, like a normal kid
Mm.
who's just trying to be like a
Syndrome.
superhero. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Eh,
you'd get
yeah.
I feel like,
Okay.
sorry,
It's okay. Go ahead.
I feel like I feel like people would think that that person could save like all our problems,
Mm-hmm.
depending on what the superpower is. But
Yeah.
it's like if you're already like a superior type of being, they'll be like,
Yeah.
this is the person
God like.
Yeah.
help us and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
Perhaps.
Maybe I'll just jump to my first thought. Like the first time Thanos said the prompt, I was already thinking Civil War and how
True.
yeah, like if there were really superheroes, I don't think we would revere them as this saviors that they would be. Like if I would see someone fighting in Makati and destroying the buildings, I'd be so mad. I'd be like, grabe naman tong gago. Well, gago, gago like you're ruining our infrastructure already, and then like we have to pay billions on who's gonna pay
Yeah.
for this, and I would be so angry about it, to be honest. Like, I know you look cool and Spider-Man, you saved that woman with a churro, okay, but at the same time you also ruined a bunch of like the entire Coney Island. So I think the damage, I'd be more against them if it was real life. So it's a good thing that they're fake, because nowadays, like even though when I watch, what did I watch? Oh, when I thought of like Falcon and the Winter Soldier and they were breaking the stuff, I was really concerned about the government funding and stuff like that. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
getting older
Yeah.
now. So I watched Civil War after that, and I was thinking like, yeah, I think I side really more with Iron Man, because I would also feel responsible if ever I was a hero, because you were really putting so much damage in Sokovia. So like, sorry, I'm saying so much, but yeah, that's the reality of it. That the woke people would be like, I hate these guys. You think you're better than
Yeah.
us? You're ruining it. Yeah.
True.
Okay. So.
Yep.
How are you, Zoe?
Yeah. So jumping off from what Nala said, I really think like that's why it's so easy for us to like resonate or like empathize with the heroes, because in like the TV shows and movies, like everything is from their perspective. So you're not really, it's only like recently that they're showing like all the collateral damage and stuff. And like you could even say like in some movies, like for example in Spider-Man Homecoming or something like that, like how come it's like the the blue collar worker is the one that's the villain?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Problematic.
I think in general, like what I think would happen realistically is like, I know I talk about the series The Boys a lot, but I think that's what would happen, because in that show it's like there are superheroes, and what's happening to them is like they're being commercialized by this
Ooh.
company. So like I really think that's what would happen, is like the superhero doesn't really become, it doesn't become a hero anymore. It's more of like a product or a celebrity. Like they're not concerned about doing what's good anymore. It's more of like what would look good for our brand, something
That's
like that.
cool. Should
Yeah.
really watch that.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
When people think of superheroes, they're like, they'll like if we have a superhero, they'll expect that person to
Yeah.
save everything. Because that's the same if we look at any person in our government who could possibly be good. It's like you think they'll save all their problems, and then they don't. So it's like if you, as a person, expect too much of them and you idolize them so much but don't change yourself, nothing's gonna happen.
You could say Captain America. Seems like he would be a good example of like politics and superhero stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to say it.
Like I'm just gonna like I can only talk through whatever I watched, but
Go ahead.
like
go
in
ahead.
The Winter Soldier, that's why I love that movie so much, because it's like Cap, like his whole life he really thought like, okay, this is good and then this is bad, like just so it is so black and white, and like I'm fighting for the good people, and I'm fine, like I'm on the good guy's side, and then suddenly like his whole life just like is a lie. It's like suddenly this guy who's symbolized such like I don't know other word for good, but like goodness and like American exceptionalism, I guess.
America.
Suddenly,
Yeah.
like his whole worldview changed, and it kind of shows you like, yeah, like the gray areas of life. Like there's not, even though there's superheroes that exist, they can't just punch all the problems away.
Oh, it's also the problem with like how like people like interact with like their idols, right? Or like the people they really look up to. And we don't really know them. Like for example, actors or celebrities, like do we really know them? Not really, even in social media, even like with social media and you see their tweets and their pictures. Like we don't really know them. But we have these high expectations for them in everything that they do. And one slip up, all it takes is one slip up in anything, and everything changes. Like, and I think that's the same. That's more dangerous with like having, if for example we had superheroes who like could actually snap and literally change like the landscape or something. Like, to what standard of excellence will we have them accountable for? Like, if there was a real Superman, like, to what standard of excellence do we take him into account for?
That's why there's the Sokovia
You like-
Accords. That's what they were trying to fight
Yeah.
for in Civil
Yeah.
War. And what did you guys think about it? I don't think I ever talked to you guys about. Whose side were you on?
You know what?
I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
as a
That's
civilian. No, as
Oh,
a civilian,
oh, okay.
Tony Stark is right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so thought Annika was gonna say as Captain America.
Yeah, I was gonna say, same thought.
You
I'm
know,
speaking as myself.
Yeah.
not my persona, my
Just
superhero
shield down.
persona.
It seems so practical, and I guess in a movie aspect, it's nice to be like, oh yeah, Captain America's finally thinking for himself.
But also,
Go ahead.
do we really trust the government?
That's so true too. I was also thinking that.
Yeah.
That's
That's the
why.
thing. That's the
Yeah.
thing. That was what I was gonna say. Like, for example, if it happened here, and a group of superheroes, for example, was led by a Capitan Philip.
Oh my god, and they're under. Wow.
And yeah, and we trust this guy. Like, for example, like Captain America was like trusted by like the people, right? So for example, we trust Capitan Pilipinas, and like we look up to that superhero. I would rather not let them be like under
Yeah.
the control of the Philippine government.
Mm.
Even if it, I don't know, I would rather trust them more than the head of the snake here in the Philippines. For
good
so many
analogy.
reasons. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Especially-
situational, I guess.
Sorry. Also, because like with the Sokovia Accords, we're like saying that the
It's
government
like it's real.
will control. I mean, it's like kind of
They
like
have to-
control
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the superheroes. Like they have to follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, like in our world, like rich people, they don't have to follow the rules of the
Oh
government.
yeah.
Because it's like the government's like, we need their money. So it's like if the government will be like,
So
we
true.
need their powers, where they have to follow the rules. It's just like you don't trust the rules.
Complicated.
Who's
It's
gonna
true.
follow it?
Because even in here, the government and the capital, like the billionaires shake hands. The reason why we have those skyways and bridges is because it's funded by private billionaires. So in a sense, like those billionaires in the Philippines are the ones helping it, and then they're in tandem with the government. I don't know what I wanted to say there, but I just wanted to show the analogy that it's happening now with the millionaires. So
Have you ever guys wondered like what superpower you would want to have?
Teleportation.
What would it be? Why? Teleportation.
Yes.
Why?
Listen, all my life, I've been stuck at home. Even before this pandemic, I just been at home my whole life. Because my parents, if they listen to this, I'm so sorry. But my whole life, they're like, I couldn't go like to places with friends because they're like, you live so far, I can't give you a ride and stuff. And I just think it'll just be a convenient power to have that's not so intrusive in my life. Just for convenience, teleportation is always my answer.
Can I ask? Oh, why not flying?
I have to like, I don't wanna.
Okay.
If I could just then be there, it's
Okay.
fine.
Zoe, what kind of teleportation? Like, can you teleport to places you haven't been to before?
Oh,
That's a good question.
if you just
Like,
think
how
about
would
it.
you?
I actually don't know.
Would you need like a picture? Ganun?
Maybe.
Or like
'Cause
Google
you know
Maps,
how
like you click.
some people they like can only teleport to like a place you could see, which I think that
That's so sad.
is kind of sad. But
It's
I
so
don't know.
short.
Maybe I think it would be most convenient if I just saw something like even if it's just a picture, I'd be like, then I'd be there.
Zoom.
Maybe it could be like the rules in Harry Potter where you whatever the rules were, you think about it and
Whatever
manifest
they
it.
were. Yeah.
When we go somewhere, it has to be done Zoe chats. Like, guys, send the pictures.
Send me a picture.
Yeah, send me a picture.
Like,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
Zoe, you're here.
Mine would be, it's like my super dream power would be a combination of teleportation and time travel.
Oh,
Like,
of course.
so I was gonna say at first like time travel, but then it's like, would I have to then reverse back in time to where I want, or can I just immediately
When I want.
teleport to when I want to be? For example, I want to relive this certain day in my life that's in a
Aww.
place. It's like that would be a cool power. Not sure if I
Like
would use it to go into the future. Just
That's
past.
scary.
Yeah.
like you'd
Like-
relive, like you'd go back to your old body, ganun. Or would
Whoa.
you go there
Oh, like
as yourself?
Wolverine
Outlander?
style.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
whoa.
like Days of Future Past, or like
That would be cool.
I think-
Endgame.
Oh,
I think
maybe
it's
I'm okay with like going back to my body then in that time.
you haven't
just-
really aged much. You still look the same, man.
And not because I don't want to go through the problem of you have
Not
to
running
hide
into
from
yourself.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like I
Sounds
can only watch
stress.
from a distance. I don't
Yeah.
want to do. I don't want to worry about that.
Cool.
Yeah. But
Nice
take,
rules.
that'd take like a bunch of self-control from you. Like okay, I need to go back in my present day, but like in the exact present day that I left. So like you pinpoint that even like the timeline. The sacred timeline.
Maybe you have a
The
temp
sacred
pad.
time. I love how they say tempad. It's like, give me the
Tempad.
tempad.
Is it Tempad? Like
Tem-
TEM?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
What?
You think it was
So long.
time pad?
No, for
Tempad.
so long I thought it was
Tempad.
Tenpad. Like Tenpad.
Tempad. I was also thinking that, then I checked the subtitles. Don't worry.
Tempad.
I was like in
I don't
episode
watch with
4, then I
subtitles.
realized.
I don't watch with subtitles. I thought it was
Okay.
Tenpad. It was like 10-dimensional. You know,
Whoa.
I don't know what's going on in my
The
mind.
justification in your mind.
Makes sense though.
How about you, Nala?
Oh, yeah, like I said, it's either telekinesis or Thor's powers because I like the hammer. I'd like to have a
Mjolnir.
thing that would come back to me because I always lose my item. So at least one thing would
Your camera.
my camera would come back.
Dude,
Like that. Or my laptop. What?
that'd
In
be
theory.
so great.
You could have Thor's powers if you were worthy to wield the hammer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe this could also join in the conversation. What do you guys think makes someone worthy to wield the hammer?
Interesting.
Man, I don't know.
Okay, never mind. You don't have to talk about this then.
I'm not Mjolnir.
I want to be Mjolnir, not Thor.
What makes them worthy? Their intention? Their intention relative to their capability. I
Whoa.
guess.
Sounds like
You have a
physics.
formula. We have a
Yeah, it sounds like a
formula.
physics formula.
Divided by.
Formula for
And
worthiness.
also,
Mjolnir.
right, there's so many, like situations wherein people can do either one or the other thing. It's relative to like what you would do given situations and how you would react to things based on who you are and what you can do as a person. So like for example, like Cap, because he was like right as a person, he's like ready, willing, and able like to die,
Mhm.
like to save
Oh yeah.
anyone.
Even
Mhm.
pre-serum.
Yeah, even people he didn't know, people who bullied him. So yeah, like I think that's very rare. I don't know, maybe that's just my personal experience with life, but a lot of people have gray areas talaga. As people, like we also come to like emotions or like our like things in our lives or minds that are not ideal. So yun, I don't know, something intention and capability
Yeah,
to
that
answer
sounds
the question.
that sounds worthy. Here you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll just
It's coming to you right now. Just keep your hand open.
okay, I'll keep the window. I'll open the window.
Later in the call, he's like, oh, like something just hits him in the
Or when
face.
he's asleep, he's just like, okay, got it.
Oh, earthquake,
You know-
earthquake.
For a while, I forgot what Captain America's power was. Like I
He's just
said,
super
like it's not
strong.
strength. I thought his power was being so good.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like
cute.
it's so rare that I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wow, it's so rare to be so good that that's
That's
his
his
power.
power.
I forgot like he was a super soldier. Yeah, the shield. So
His
That's his
power is to be
pre-serum power.
American. Being an American itself.
The
Kind
American.
of kind of a
it is a
superpower
power in
here.
the world.
You know what?
They are a superpower.
I just realized. I think me personally, Falcon and the Winter Soldier series is the closest we'll ever have to like what's reality for our podcast, maybe because thinking of Carly, how she's mad at the superheroes and how she wants to make everyone super, and the conflict with the politics seems like that's exactly how the world might react if ever there would be superheroes. They get the serum, and then Carly would be like, "No, I want everyone to be the. I want everyone to have this power and stuff like that." I think, and she's the most villain, the villain that I agree with the most, and it's sad that she passed away because she made a lot of sense.
Aaron Kellyman. One
Mhm.
world.
Yeah,
One
So-
world,
one world.
one people.
But yeah, like for real. I feel like that would definitely happen. Like if we had super serums, like people would definitely want their hands on it.
Mhm.
It'd be so like a commodity, a rare commodity.
True.
Like a
'cause-
vaccine.
Because it really was like that in the first episode, right? It was like
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
saying a
like the
vaccine.
vaccine.
Yeah, I was like, am I in the show? Like,
Exactly.
I feel like if a superhero exists, there is a corresponding super villain slash villains.
Mega mind.
hmm
Yeah, the mega mind rule.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like we do have supervillains now, but we don't have superheroes.
That
Mm.
is so true.
Indeed.
Wait, that's true.
Maybe the fact that we have supervillains should mean
Means
that
there's
somewhere there's a
Somewhere.
Someone.
according to
Come on.
math. According to
Yeah.
math.
Our superhero died 2,000 years ago, guys. Turned water into wine.
You're a dead persons, then why are we still? Well, am I
Uh, but I was thinking in Nala's power, if you can like pull cameras and make
full
sick shots,
cameras?
right?
Yeah.
If you like Mjolnir
yeah.
the cameras.
Exactly. That's why I
and
was
it's
How'd you
taking
shoot
a
this?
photo while flying.
Yeah, and imagine I don't need like I don't need those contraptions or anything. No crane, no nothing.
No need for a
Just-
dolly.
no
Yeah. You'll
dolly,
be
nothing at
You'll
all.
slowly summon the
The
camera.
most wanted cinematographer just
Yeah.
for that power.
I'll just make all the lightings and everything, and everything's moving. It's so perfect for whatever I am.
Whatever this is.
Whatever this
Making
is.
her
Yeah.
own reality, ala ano.
But that
Wanda.
wouldn't give me a meaning to my life. If
Ah,
I have to connect it, because if I can just do everything all at once, then there's no struggle, there's no learning.
yeah.
Unless it's hard for you to do all of that at once.
Yeah.
That's
Or
true.
it, like costs
Hard
a
for the
certain amount
head.
of energy.
Okay,
Like
then.
you'll have to practice how to summon this camera.
Okay, are we making a story?
Oh yeah,
You're
write that
justifying
down.
your power.
Write that down.
Just
write
in
that
case it
down.
happens, you know what to do.
I'll let you guys know so we can start making stuff again.
Who was like your favorite superhero growing up? Or like maybe your favorite superhero now growing up? Evolution of that?
we have
we all
have the same.
I don't know if it's obvious, but I think it's Spider-Man.
Please go Spider-Man for me.
Okay. Yep. Here's why. Wow, my explanation. My explanation to why. Because I don't know. I thought about this a lot before. That like Spider-Man, like every Spider-Man iteration. Wait, how do I phrase this? At each point in my life, there's a new Spider-Man iteration.
Mhm.
So, and I don't know. I just felt like they corresponded well to wow where I was in my life. Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Stonefield.
Bro.
So of course, when you're a kid, they had like the Sam Raimi ones, and then I guess that's
Mhm.
like for a lot of people the introduction to Spider-Man and you know who he is, what are his powers, and
Mhm.
with great with great power comes great responsibility.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And yeah, with like the Amazing Spider-Man ones, I don't know. There was just something about those movies that really captured me. Maybe it's because
The
I was a
romance.
teenager and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
Yeah.
The romance.
the romance
Mm-hmm.
is amazing.
The romance in the second one was so good because
Yeah.
I vividly can still remember when like Peter would like try to walk the traffic and then they would
Yeah.
like the thing.
Stop!
The nose thing.
The nose thing. Ah.
Because Mark Webb directed it.
Yeah,
Directed
500 Days of
Days.
Summer, of course.
He
It's
knows
so,
how to do a romance.
now he's doing horror.
Good time.
Do you want to finish your thoughts, Zoe? Like why is the now Spider-Man your favorite?
I actually don't know like what my reason is for it. I guess
Thomas.
it's like it's the true. Don't come for me, Spider-Man fanboys, but for me it's the truest
Yeah.
like most faithful adaptation of Spider-Man there is. And it's like I think it's kind of it I don't know, like humbling or something to see like that he's just this kid that's like I wanna help people. And then
Yeah.
it's like unlike the previous two, it's like it kind of shows you the more human side of a superhero. Yeah.
Like what
Like not just
John
a
Watts
Spider-Man, but all
Yeah.
superheroes.
Yeah. Ooh, I'd like to just add to Zoe's like what John Watts said. Like if you take out the action of it, you still get a good coming of age story.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I love a coming of age story.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think of me as a child, I didn't really have like, that's my favorite superhero. But out of like all the superhero movies I've seen when I was a kid, it's always I mean I would also say Spider-Man, and that's also the reason why the three of us are all the way that
Four of it.
Yeah.
it's all the Spider-Man for those reasons that they did mention, and also with a special side of how much I love New York.
Literally.
Yes. Yes.
Like if it's not Spider-Man, it's Captain America, and there's only one. What's the one reason why? Where are they both from?
What's the one?
They're Avengers.
They're men. Brooklyn Queens.
Oh, there's so many.
Brooklyn Queens.
Are you Spider-Man?
But it is Spider-Man.
I think growing up, I was watching a lot of X-Men too. And I
I
think
love X-Men.
there was like I was watching the one with I forgot
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. I was gonna say Haley. Halle Berry and the OG's X-Men. And I was liking that too. And I was as a kid, I was like, I think I was extremely feminist kid because I was like I would only listen to like women. Women, I was only like
Small
Then
men.
I kind of what you
Wee
said.
men.
women superheroes and women whatever. But then it broke when I saw Spider-Man because I didn't just see him as like just a man. I just saw him as a kid that I could relate to, and for some reason it was always embedded in my head like the spikes coming out of his thumb and him grabbing on the flyer and him learning his powers, because I don't even think I saw someone or a superhero learn their powers like how I would probably do it. So as a kid I would pretend to be Spider-Man even though he was a boy, and I would be like really trying to look through my thumb to see if I had spikes, and then I would check the walls and see, like I would pretend. So the movie would be playing and I'd be making pretend, climbing the walls on the bedpost. And it was so fun because I didn't see Superman do that. He already knew his powers. The X-Men kind of knew it, and it was all action packed, but it was really fun learning with Spider-Man how to do it. And he was goofy and he'd also doubt his powers. And it's so cool because even now I would remember, like if I'm in hard times, I'd remember Spider-Man saying like, he'd give up and then he'd come back to it again. So that's like him burning out. And like what Zoe said, something about Andrew Garfield really really he's my wallpaper right now. And it's so cool to see that Maanga Spider-Man, and the soundtrack is really so good that I still listen to it now. And it's perfect how Zoe said it, like when you grow up. And something about Holland Spider-Man that it's an amalgamation of everything, that it's like they were learning how to develop Spider-Man, and then they finally got it right, and now they're just playing around with it. And yeah, it was just really good. I love Spider-Man all the time, and it's sad that it's the last one. I don't want it to end.
Oh,
So,
oh no.
but
Yeah.
I guess to finalize, to cap it all off, my current favorite, because I love Spider-Man, I realized that I love Thor a lot, because of like I thought he was the most boring Avenger ever. Like
Really?
everyone thought Hawkeye was the most boring. No, he's not. He's got arrows. Thor was boring because he like spoke in Shakespearean whatever. And I realized like he has a really good character development. Like he's had self-doubt and he's a god. And then Endgame Thor was really good in many reasons that I don't want to hog the time anymore. So it's really good.
Yeah. I just wanna like reiterate what you said, dude. Before also, I was like, I was like pretending I saw walls. I would just stick with this.
Yeah,
I
it's
was just
something
like, oh,
about it.
does this mean sense? I was like, oh, it's beginning to stick. It's beginning to stick.
Yung pawis pala yun.
Tapos sabi ko pa sa dad ko, kung possible ba yun? And then he said like, anything you think into the universe, just you do it.
That's a lot to put on a kid, huh?
Great power.
Like, do it. I think about it hard enough, and it will come to life or something like that.
$1 million.
I was like thinking it hard enough. I was like thinking like stick, never stuck.
There was
Stuck.
there was a time I had those phases where we had like glue on our hands.
Yeah.
I
You put that into web. It's web.
I would put a spoon and then do that, and I'd run to my dad and be like, Dad, look, and it's the fork scene.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude,
Sometimes.
I never did that. I was like, I stayed away from from the kids in our classroom who did that because they always had to like shake their hands. They always tried to like put glue on my stuff. I was like,
Oh my
no.
goodness. Nala is the
Please
kid
no.
in question.
Nala is that
I
kid.
would really do that. I think I did do that. It's okay.
Yeah.
How about you?
Growing up, I actually loved the Flash because I used to watch the Justice League cartoon a lot. So I was like Wally
True,
West. I
good.
love Wally West because he's like super like easygoing and happy-go-lucky. And he's just like, and for me, he's like the best character there because there was one time when every single member of the Justice League was like powerless against Luthor and Brainiac, but then the Flash was there and he's the one who beat them like by running around the world so
Ooh,
fast.
cool.
But yeah, like he was my idol. He's like the kid of the group, but he's like the best. So yeah, but
Something about kids in
Usually the
group.
kid. Something.
Yeah.
gotta go with the kid. But now I gotta go with with like Miles, dude, because more than like being Spider-Man, like seeing him like this clumsy midget
Awkward.
quirky brown boy, like hey hey
Hey.
I see what you doing, brown boy.
Brown skin boy.
I know the feeling of being a brown boy. I know it. I'm it.
I bet when you saw the Chance the Rapper albums in his, yeah, you were just like, wait a minute, I have that exact same thing in my room.
Bro, it's like the exact same thing. Like you're like,
Mhm.
hey, that's it. That's the
That's
thing.
your room right there.
A.
Hey.
But yeah, just like going through like Miles is just like going through like life, right? And like living the struggle of being like a high school kid who just doesn't know like what really he can do. And like I think that's all of us to a certain extent. Like we're just living through life and not like necessarily getting like the gist of knowing what we can do and what we should do with what we can do. So yeah, he just connected with me to like a spiritual level.
I think it's really they took your mind because I think the reason why, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the reason why they created Miles in the first place was when they announced that they were rebooting Spider-Man, like for Sony. A lot of
Mhm.
people wanted Donald Glover, and then
Mhm.
people were like, "Oh, people like a black Spider-Man," and then that's how Miles
Oh,
came.
really? It was after that?
Yeah, just after that,
Cool.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
god.
They made
The
Miles because like
because of
Donald, like,
Donald.
yeah.
the fact that Thanos like Donald too.
Yeah, that's why it's like they took a
So cool.
piece of his brain and then just like
Yeah.
how to make a comic book actor, and they made
Yeah.
Miles.
And it's really so cool. I just had this thought, like it's really nice that we all get to talk about how we see ourselves in the superheroes and representation stuff, because it's so fun when you realize like the character that you like has so much like you, and you never thought that it would be cool. So like, to I don't know how to say this, but a lot of my conversations with like Annika and Zoe, we always have like this analogy that I'm Thor and Annika's Captain America and Zoe's Iron Man. And then it's always so fun for me whenever we're like, oh yeah, and then this person's like this, and it's really like this hero, and it's so fun. Representation matters in a
Yeah.
nutshell. Yeah.
Even if you see yourself in three white men.
Yeah.
It's still
Ironically, because that's mostly what they give us.
Yeah, that is true.
The Trinity.